Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress. Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Let's go. No. Front it.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Double tight. Don't take forever, okay?
They run it with Carson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Nowhere, baby, nowhere. Let's go. Way to go, deep. Double tight. Tight. Wide, 90. Tight. Switch. Look for signals. Let's go, 14.
Right back to him on 1st down. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. This is Carson. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. A nice job of just sticking the helmet down 9 yards on the play, but still 3rd and 12 now. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Mariota. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he slides to avoid the hit. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
3 down.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Here's Carson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Patriots coming out now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Mariota. Flush to his right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
He's coming. Double up. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight ends right. Jump right. Jump right. Even.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now it's Carson. Down to about the 22 here. It'll be a 9-yard gain that time, and it'll also be the final play of this first quarter. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas. Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. 4 down. 4 down. Spread left. Spread left. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Mike 5-5. Mike 55.
A first carry for Elijah McGuire. And they'll get him down right about the 20.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And his kick is indeed good, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This fielded at the 2. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Alert!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
We got 4. We got 4. 1. I got 8. I got 1. 53 is the mic.
Second down, Mariota. Throwing right, and that's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, boys, got 4. 4 down.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Javon Hargrave in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
3. 1. 1. Let's go. 1. Number 53.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Third and long here for Mariota. He rifles one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This is Colder. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check, 55 to Mike. Check.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 down. Come on, let's go. Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. 82 is mine. I got 82. 82 is mine.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this.
14. 3 down. Blue 15.
On second down, Wilson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Let's go get another one. Let's go get another one. Come on. Watch 89.
On first down, Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. No problem there on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Mariota. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
New England on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Looking deep downfield. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late in the half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53. You can't block me.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. The tackle that time by William Hayes.
Lay down.
So much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Switch. 3.
They'll toss it to Coleman. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Now Mariota. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's go. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. New England on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6.
4 down.
Now Mariota being chased out left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth.
Hey, we got four. We got four down.
They're indeed going. It's Mariota. Now this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. Now last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of it. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and the Seahawks have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Binds, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Mike 36. Mike 36. I got him.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
On third down, it's Carson, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with fourth down forthcoming. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
First down, Mariota. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Three down. 53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
To throw is Mariota. And he fires one, but incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mariota. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
We got 3. Set. Blue 18.
Throwing again. Mariota on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Dante Fowler in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Mariota now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now. 1st and 10 at the 20.
Tight end right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 3rd down, that's McGuire. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Double tight. Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the 2nd drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go. 3 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Watch tight end. Tight right. Set. Move in. Yeah, we got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Tight end's right.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
And his kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
So the Patriots coming out now. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Mariota now on 2nd down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Three down. Check 99.
New England on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. They go play action. Mariota. Hard throw, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
It's fielded at the 45. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out now come the Seahawks. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them going along with those zeros in the time column too?
So for the Seahawks, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.